Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Elizabeth, I'm a marine biologist, and here we share the wonders of the rocky shore. And today is going to be even more wonderful because we are sharing the wonders of the rocky shore from two entirely different places in the world. Previously, there's been a series on my channel called Global Rockpooling, which I still want to carry on, where we look at all the rockpooling finds from around the world. But this series is going to be a slightly different twist. I'm recruiting rockpoolers from all around the world to go rockpooling on the same day, and then we can compare what we find. So in today's video, I am rockpooling around about the same time as Marley Peifer, a nature journaler who absolutely loves drawing the amazing world of the rocky shore in California. So we're going to be carrying the east coast of Scotland to the west coast of America and seeing what amazing creatures we find. I'm really excited because as I look around, I'm going to be thinking, oh, I wonder what they find in America, like what types of barnacles, what types of anemones. I'm really excited to see what Marley gets up to. And I'll link to all of his social medias throughout the video and down below, so go and check them out, and I'll be doing a live on his channel, so you can go and check that out too. But enough of me talking about Marley, how about I just introduce him? Marley! Yes, I think I can hear him now. Over to you.
I'm gonna do some rock pooling and exploring what we can find out there. Alright, so here we are out at the coast, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat some of this because I missed breakfast. And this is nori. It's one of the many edible seaweeds that we have growing here, and I'm gonna have to rely on Elizabeth for some of the identification today because I don't know all of these species and am not a marine biologist. But look at how many things are here already. Look at this incredible biodiversity just in this square meter right here. This is another edible seaweed, bladderwrack, and there are quite a few plants out here, even though they might not seem like the plants you're used to. Here in the intertidal zone, there's all kinds of plants, and they are the basis of the ecosystem, just like they are on land. And look at this. I already found one of my favorite organisms. Look at this little crab here. Come here, little buddy. Look at this little rock crab here. Such a cool invertebrate. We always forget as vertebrates, as mammals with a backbone, that so many animals don't have a backbone and are like this little crab here. This crab is an arthropod, so it has an exoskeleton. And look at all of these other types of invertebrate animals. These, yes, these are animals. Just because they don't move doesn't make something not an animal. Oh, looks like the crab is not leaving my finger. These right here maybe can be my little teaching assistant. These are some type of barnacle, I believe. Those tiny little things, they almost look like they have a cross in the middle of that opening there, like a volcano with a weird beak inside. And I think those are some type of barnacle, which is really exciting. Oh look, the crab's trying to reach out to jump off there. Really exciting because Elizabeth from MarineMumbles really was excited to see some of the barnacles that we have here in California.
Yes, I'm so excited to see them. I'm editing this right now, so I'm looking at the footage in front of me, and I cannot resist coming on here to say, yes, I'm so excited to see the barnacles. So the first set that you get, that like the first kind of group, is very similar to the ones that we get in the UK. Same kind of size, looks kind of the same. There's lots of species that look like this, so I can't quite tell exactly what they are, but yeah, they're very similar. In fact, you can see ones that I recorded when I was rockpooling feeding. Bit of a spoiler for another awesome species that are coming up at the end of the video, but in the front of that species you can see these really soft insides of these barnacles, which are hairy feet going and grabbing the stuff out of the water. If you want to learn about why I love barnacles so much, including seeing me do barnacle yoga, you can check out this video here. I'll try not to go on too long in this section of the video. But Marley, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'd do if I saw the other, like, the barnacles you get are so huge.
I think this might be another type of barnacle. It is bigger. Oh, look at the inside just moved. It looks bigger. but it's not a gooseneck barnacle. So it's bigger than these ones, but not a gooseneck barnacle. Let me see if I can get a close-up inside of there.
Thank you so much for taking the ruler and like showing me the size, because they are like 100 times bigger than what we have. And then you found goose barnacles. I love goose barnacles. I've never been able to see them before. You don't get them here in the UK. They only grow on things and then like outside of the country and float in and wash up on beaches. So I haven't been able to see one for myself, but they're weird and really cool and a different type of barnacle, and I'm desperate to see them. So thank you for sharing. Oh, it's so wicked.
I believe those are one. Those look like a limpet to me. And there are also several types of snails right here in this little area. Look at those. Watch this. See that little thing it has it's gonna cover itself up with? It's like a little trap door. I think that's called an operculum. I have to bust out the few marine biology terms that I know. I don't know that many.
Wow, that's so awesome. We have loads of snails here too. Lots of people call them sea snails, but I like to call land snails because I think the sea is more awesome. It started there first. But did you know that some snails actually lay eggs? And when I was rockpooling, I found these. These are the eggs of a dog whelk. And this crab was so cool to see you finding. We don't have crabs that look like this, except for one, which is actually an invasive species from Japan. And I looked it up, and it's this is a native species to California, but it's on the same family as that, so they look very similar. There's a video I have all about finding invasive crabs on another beach, which you can check out here, and you can see how similar they look. But I did manage to spot somehow this is a decorator crab. So this is a crab under here, and he likes to go to the hairdressers a lot and covers himself in lots of algae to completely disappear. I mean, you can barely see him. It's fantastic. And there's also this, which is a hermit crab. They're not true crabs because they don't make their own shell. In fact, they steal it from all the snails that we have, or they use them once the snails have died. As Marley correctly described earlier, you can often see them poking out of the operculum of the snail shells. And they are colourful and cool and just great characters. And this one was particularly small.
All right, let's go see what else we can find. What is going on here?
A phrase everyone says rockpooling at least once. The rocky shore is full of such weird things. So is the ocean in general. And I felt this statement, Marley. I ask this all the time.
I think this is a different species of sea anemone eating something or having something in its orifice. I don't even know if that's called a mouth. And I have no idea what this yellow thing is.
I do happen to know what is going on here. What it is eating is actually what I found alive all the way in the UK. This is an isopod. It could also be potentially an amphipod. They're two very similar types of crustaceans, and you can see them darting about and living in seaweeds and under rocks, and they particularly love higher up the shore. Unfortunately, this one probably got a bit too close to the very dangerous anemones, dangerous for tiny things like amphipods or isopods, but I think this is an isopod.
Meanwhile, look at that. Oh, look, there's a teeny one. Look at that teeny, it almost looks like the inside of a fig. Here's some more of that type.
I love how we can be halfway around the world and both of us still get caught up looking at the itsy bitsy tiny baby anemones. I think that's so cool that we both pointed that out. So while Marley was finding all of those awesome things, actually in the first few seconds of my rockpooling, I was very happy too. Well, we just found 3 fish within about 30 seconds of each other, so that's a fantastic start. So this is a sand smelt, but he didn't stick around for very long. He disappeared off, which, you know, fish do. But then we found a really cool creature, and this is a scorpion that's underwater, known as a sea scorpion, which is a type of fish. They blend in really well, but as soon as they don't want to be there, well, they're gone. And this little thing is called a butterfish, and I think it's because they are very, very slippery and jump about, and I can only imagine that's why they're called a butterfish. But look at how they swim. They're very eel-like, very elongated, but make this great like S-shaped pattern in the water as they swim. That's honestly the longest one has ever stuck around for when I've seen them, so say thank you to that fish. And then of course, while you're rockpooling, you're always being spied on by a couple of crabs. Meanwhile, in California,
the number of sea stars is really impressive. Look at how many there are just right there. All at a similar level, most of them at a similar height. It feels like there's sort of a layer here below where the majority of those mussels are that the sea stars can be found in. And the same with most of the sea anemones are also at that level. This rock is a perfect example. Oh, look at all those broken off mussels in there. I wonder what's going on in there. Maybe it's just the place where the water deposits stuff. Whoa, there's so much weird stuff going on in here. Oh my goodness. This is crazy extraterrestrial in here. Whoa. Look at them hanging from the ceiling. What's that back there? Look at all these colors. Oh my god. Whoa. It's like a disco in here. Disco. Insert disco music here. Those look like old mussel beards. And look at the diversity of algae.
so I've watched some of Marley's videos on the incredible coast. It looks like the rocky shore on steroids. Like everything looks giant and massive rock pools. This shore is a bit different. We do have like a lot more of like, we do have like some of the ones that are more rockier, but this is a very flat shore with very shallow rock pools. But it actually makes it quite handy to film in because the species can't get very far away from you. And I'm quite short and have very short arms. So many a time, well, as you can tell, there's some beautiful footage of I already climb into rock pools, and it makes me look like I wet myself. I honestly watched this clip and it carries on. I've cut this early. I can't understand why I've included this in what I wanted to film, other than I was desperate to tell people that it looks like I've wet myself. But the link that I'm using this is that although we don't have like a lot of that vertical height, there are some fabulously weird things that you can find hidden under the rocks that you can turn over on this particular shore.
So all this really weird stuff back here that Marley is seeing, I think they are sea squirts, which I also found some in the UK. I got a very short snippet of it, and these are called baked bean sea squirts. I then went on to find lots and lots and lots of weird worms, which are just amazing because the weirder the better. Lots of worms love to live at the bottom of rocks, but we've got different types. This is a bristle worm, and they like to move around and try and hunt. You can see on the end they've got all these like tentacly things. They use them to move around, and they've got these two antennae at the front that they use to feel about. And this is something very similar. It's called a scale worm. You can see the circles that make up the scale on its back. This is actually a worm, but it's living in a tube and has these really beautiful feelers out, and that is actually things that it feeds with. So instead of hunting, it takes in all of those little bits that you see in the water. But this is the king of worm predators on the rocky shore. This is the type of ragworm. They can swim through the water like a corkscrew. They've got a like a beak thing that it uses to bite with, and can even bite humans if it wants to. These are just top apex predators.
Marley, you're gonna love this as well as all the people watching at home. this is really, really cool and a new species to the channel. I have found a new species of nudibranch. For anyone that hasn't followed me on the channel, I'm obsessed with nudibranchs. They are sea slugs, they are amazing and they are gorgeous, and they do not occur very often. In fact, finding a new species is something that happens once in a blue moon. For me, on the shore that I am here in the UK, you don't find them very often, though I have heard fantastic things about all of the ones in California and seen amazing pictures. So we found a new one today, so the good luck charm is paid off. It's incredible. So these are actually pretty big. You can see them here. I think they're a type of Doris. There's a group of nudibranchs which have Doris in their Latin name, but there's lots of different species with Doris, like an Oncodoris or something like that. So I don't know what it is yet. I'm sure future me will have worked it out and stick a name in. But these are really big. I found nudibranchs before that are like smaller than my little fingernail, and these are like not quite thumb size. I have tiny thumbs though. But they're really cool. And what's great about these is I didn't know. I thought it was a bit of sponge because this rock here, all three, you know, bits are covered with sponge, and it wasn't until I touched it and it fell off and I was like, oh, that's not a sponge. And I thought maybe it was an anemone because it felt more anemone. It was such a weird feeling. And then I put it in the water and it was a nudibranch. They are incredible, they are gorgeous, and they were models for the camera. So here is the footage. I am so happy. Nudibranchs are so epic and amazing. So nudibranchs move like sea slugs by using a big muscle under their body that you can see wiggling about, and that's how they move. Now at the front they've got these things that look like little horns, but actually they're its sensory organs. It's sensing the world through that, and it's got a little fluffy bum, but it's this fluffy bum that it breathes out of. You can see it's nice and fluffy, lots of surface area for breathing and oxygen and everything, but they breathe out their fluffy bums. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna be really mean and end it there, but there is a part 2. And if you can believe it, part 2 is filled with even better things. In fact, I'm saving the best half for the next video. I'm about to show you exactly a very short preview of what to expect in the next video, but let me just tell you when you can catch it. If you're watching this on the day it comes out, this is a Wednesday, the next video will come out Sunday morning, and then it's Sunday evening British Standard Time at 9 p.m. I will be doing a live on Marley Peifer's Instagram. If you are not watching this in live time, then hopefully the video should be available and I will pop that here and you can go and find that. But the Marley's live will also be recorded and uploaded to his YouTube channel, so you're not going to miss out. You can just go check it out there as well. Okay. This is what's coming up in part 2, and you don't want to miss it because honestly, I think it might be top 3, maybe even top. I don't know, every rock pooling experience I've had let alone the amazingness of the Californian Rockpools too. Okay, here's the preview.
Look at that. Is it moving against you? Oh, I just saw another kind of crab over here. Oh shoot, that's a deep spot.
How awesome that is. Oh my god, it's like, I can't believe it.
That was fun.